getting stuck in a mindset is the worst. I should not, I am this way, like role playing.
Hmm.
I told you you have to be a certain way. Role playing or being like, this is my career, this is my job. I studied computer science, I have to be in IT. I did biology, therefore, I can be an entrepreneur in the arts or in technology. Right now, I'm developing a website for artists with AI.
Hmm. Hmm.
I feel empowered by it. I'm like, there is absolutely no restrictions right now for anybody dreaming anything big.
Welcome, Supermoms, to Mom's Talk. Our today's guest is a scientist. She's an entrepreneur and a wellness visionary. Her journey is very, very exciting. It's a bridge between art, science, and health. She is a PhD in cancer biology, and she's done her MBA in finance and is a founder of Artsee. Let's dive into this exciting conversation with Dr. Padmaja Ganapathy. Lovely to
Thank
have you,
you. Thank you,
Padmaja.
Avni, for the wonderful introduction.
Well, I
Honored.
think you have done wonderful things in your life. So that's what it is. That's what we brings us over here on this platform. Um, Padmaja, let's begin with your past. I am very much interested in knowing about certain things, about how your formative years have kind of molded you into a person that you are today. How was your childhood like? Were you an artist by heart right from the beginning, inclined towards science, which is a very unique intersection? So would love to talk about that.
Sure. Thank you so much. Love being here, especially because it's for super moms. And I think going back, I mean, oh gosh, that was so long ago. I had a pretty much idyllic childhood in Madras. It's called Chennai now because we didn't have TV then. Oh gosh, I'm dating myself. But still, anyway, at least in our homes, we didn't have a TV. So we were just roaming around, and my dad would take us to museums and shows and didn't think much of it. But, and where in Chennai I lived, the Music Academy was right there. And right now it's very famous. Their December concerts are very, very famous. But at that time, we could just walk in for a matinee and listen to some stalwart singing. I mean, just like I would walk with my grandmother, just sit down and listen to it and come back. And I used to go for dance lessons with Bala Saraswati, who is the doyen of dance for Kuchipudi and Bharatanatyam, didn't think much of it. Oh, she's 7 years old. We got to put her in a dance class. So I go for dance classes, and then she's Bala Saraswati, and times were different. Like you could dance, incredibly well. That they would never praise you, right? No, I mean it was tough, but you didn't even realize it was tough. You just had to keep doing better and better. And I still remember the one day I was doing some very difficult jati with two other girls, and she said ballet, and everybody was shocked because wow, she said ballet.
Hmm.
And to this day, I remember that one little phrase she said that just made dance my passion.
Hmm.
So it's not like, oh, good job of today, where everything is a good job. It's that one little praise that takes you on. Art was around me. I had a dad who didn't believe in grades, who didn't believe in school education, and I'm so glad for that today. He taught us about Mona Lisa and Da Vinci when they were reading like history dates and stuff at school, but he would just talk, talk, talk and educate us. And I didn't even, and surrounded by books that 15-year-olds were not even supposed to read. I think that was my education. My dad was a journalist.
Hmm.
And so I got all the education I needed at home, and I couldn't care honestly less. I shocked myself by doing a PhD. The science came because, that's what you did. Honestly, that's what you did. You didn't. I loved writing all that. I'm a writer. I feel at heart. I love writing, but you do not do literature. Is not, you do science. So but I no regrets because I love the science that is the basis of my thinking right now. I love that. And right now, I'm getting with the AI, I'm going into technology, and that science, that biology in technology is what I'm trying to merge right now. So I feel every experience in life is precious. Everything comes together.
Hmm.
It's you who have to bring everything together. There's no such thing as a bad way or the right way. You reinvent yourself every moment, every year, every career choice you make. I have changed maybe 4 or 5 times, an infinite number of times I will be changing in the future. And I think that is the beauty of the times we live in.
Hmm. That's wonderful. That's wonderful, Padmaja. I love the way you talk about merging of science and art, and how important it is for us to keep learning and to explore different things. Um, Padmaja, when we typically talk about mindsets, and we've heard this a lot, that people's minds are wired differently. So when someone is into art, people say their minds are wired in a different manner as compared to the person that is pursuing science, a career in science. They think differently, their minds are wired differently. Now, you have this very unique blend of the two, that you are doing it simultaneously. What do you think, if there is anything common between the two, or how do you think it just works out for other people out there? How can it be beneficial? What are your thoughts on that?
Um, I don't think anybody is wired differently. We're all creative we are born creative. You could be creative in the arts, you could be creative in the sciences. Like if you look at a cell through the microscope, it is such a beautiful being, an art form, the way the cells grow towards each other. And I did cancer biology, so I've seen cells in a layer beautifully dividing and still forming that one layer. And I've seen cells that just group together and form cancer, and that's ugly, by the way.
Hmm.
But talking about rewiring, I wanted to tell you a little story about my own mom. My mom's in her 80s. All her life, all her career, she was a school teacher in one of the best schools in India. It's Kendriya Vidyalaya, run by the government of India. She
Hmm.
was a teacher. That's how I know my mom. She was a teacher in the same school too. Can you imagine that? I mean, growing up with your mom as a teacher, a story for another day. But anyway, so I knew my mom as a school teacher. She is the essence of being in the moment, right? So she's very practical, and so she moved here, and that was then she retired, and my parents came to the US. And come COVID, she was just, sitting around doing like, what am I going to do now? And my dad had passed, and there was some paper lying around, and she started making some flowers. And then, lo and behold, after a year, she started making sculptures out of stuff that we throw away, like junk paper. This is
Oh.
a person who had absolutely no connection to sheer. I've never seen her paint. I'd never seen her do anything remotely connected to art. And I used to think, I'm creative. Amma, you don't feel like it's just like no. She was so busy. In India it gets busy, especially in
Hmm.
those days when there was not much help. She was a career woman at that time,
Hmm.
all her life. And I wish this was about her because she is my inspiration. But he had an exhibition in a gallery in New York last year in May. Who would have thought that she would have a gallery exhibition for a week in New York City, coming from where she did? She had rewired her brain, and all this is her art
Oh,
here.
that's
In the
beautiful.
span of 2 years, she's made over 250 pieces of art. She is my inspiration. So I founded Artsee because I believe everybody is an artist, whether you're a scientist, a mathematician, it is just expressing creativity in you, and there is no therapy like
Hmm.
creativity, be it physically or mentally. To actually, rewiring should not be a one off instance, you should rewire all the time.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Getting stuck in a mindset is the worst. I should not, I am this way, like role playing.
Hmm.
never told you have to be a certain way. Role playing or being like, this is my career, this is my job. I studied computer science, I have to be in IT. I did biology, therefore, I can be an entrepreneur in the arts or in technology. Right now, I'm developing a website for artists with AI. I feel empowered by it. I'm like, there is absolutely no restrictions right now for anybody dreaming anything big. Absolutely. Who's stopping you?
That's so
So
true. That's
I
so true.
think rewriting should be the rule rather than the exception.
That's perfect. It's lovely how you say how you're making use of AI in developing your website and stuff like that. As daunting as it is for a lot of people, like how we talk about AI, but it's also like a tool which can sharpen your skills. So it's just the way you see certain things and make use of it is what will help you in future.
During this journey, I found artists are very against AI, but AI is here to stay. You cannot wish AI away. It's
Mhm.
not going away. So instead of, seeing it as a threat, you got to see it as a tool. So
Mhm.
we just developed a set of tools on Artsee that artists will actually use to further their careers. And I was talking to an artist and they said, okay, now I feel empowered that I can use AI to my benefit. So it's a metaphor for life, right? Take your threats and make them into tools.
Let's talk about a little bit about Artsy. What is this platform all about? I know you have mentioned I've read this a couple of times to democratize the art. What do you really mean by it? What's the thought behind it?
So I'll tell you how it evolved, and then the answer is in the story. I have been like helping out an art organization, or rather friends, I should say, in New York for the last 15, 20 years. So I was a scientist at that time with a ton of artists, and we were trying to get this project forward, an installation, multimedia kind of a project that was spanning 7 countries. And for the Indians among us, Malika Sarabhai is a very famous choreographer in Ahmedabad. She's part of our team. So there was a one or two Grammy winners. There was Malika Sarabhai. There was other people like Regina Miranda, who was a top dancer from Brazil. So all the elites, right? And it was a wonderful experience. And I was like the voice of, I would say, reason or logic or science, what you call it, because everyone's talking about their dreams. I love the way artists think. They think differently, and every person thinks different. That is a difference. Every person has a unique signature of their ideas. And I would sit there and say, that's all fine, guys, but where's the money coming from? How are we going to implement this? So I had so much fun, and I gained so much experience working with them. Joel Thome, who's a Grammy winner, is in New York. He's a dear friend. And COVID happened. So this particular project happened in Japan, and then we had to stop. So COVID happened, and basically the platform just gave way under the artists' feet. Artists were so affected, especially performance artists, right? So we
Mhm.
said, what are we going to do about that? We created Artists for Peace. So there were 20 of us co-founders, and from every country, every genre, these are the top artists. We created Artists for Peace to give those artists a platform to put forth their music or their art multi-genre, right?
Mhm.
And while doing that, a thought occurred to me, because Artists for Peace, it was like it's for everybody, but how did it operate is, say Joel or Malika or somebody knew somebody, they would say, hey, bring your, and it was a curated platform. So we had curators for dance, curators for music. So it would be like the top people from around the world or some music that's good. But then a part of me is like, we need to democratize this. What if I don't know anybody? See, networking is the hardest thing, be it a corporate person or an artist, even more for artists or introverts, right?
Mhm.
Believe it or not, I was an introvert at one time. Anyway, so it's very hard to network, to get known, but that is what artists need. So to me, I came to this country leaving all that network that we had built. If I'd stayed in Chennai, my network would have been amazing given my dad was a journalist, but I uprooted myself and came to the US, and I know the pain of getting a network around you. So I said, what if we have a platform that is just leveling the playing field for everybody, anybody from India to Afghanistan to you name it can be on the platform. So that became my passion. We
Mhm.
developed it as a portfolio platform where you can make a free website for yourself. You'll have your URL because
Mhm.
that is the hardest thing to do for people who have been looking at Excel and who work at off. It's very easy, but for artists, they don't care or
Mhm.
they don't want to or they don't know technology. It's expensive. Websites are expensive. Websites require some skill. They require a lot of skill actually to construct, or you can outsource it, but you'll have to pay a lot of money. That defeats the purpose. So we
Mhm.
said a one page portfolio should be free. That's not social media. Of course, you have your Instagram. So started doing that, and I met, oh my gosh, my life changed. My life totally changed because I was meeting artists every single day, and every person is so different. Then they bring so much to the table. I almost, and when you talk to artists, you're talking about yourself, your personality. It's like a 360 of you. You're talking about art. And when you go to corporate, you have to code shift immediately because you're this
Mhm.
boxed person. I'm the manager. This is what I do. I'm like, why are people spending their lifetimes in this box?
Mhm.
9 to 5, and then you want, oh my gosh, thank God it's Friday. For
Mhm.
those 2 days, you like waiting for that Friday, and then, oh my God, it's Monday. I'm like, no, it's got to be, thank God it's Monday.
Mhm.
You got to love what you do.
True.
But how will you love what you do? You will love what you do when it's creative. That
Mhm.
is the key word. You got to find creativity in that Excel or in the
Okay.
Word document. Whatever you do, take it to the next level, be creative. And that is where art comes in. You go and just let yourself go, cut a piece of paper, make a greeting card, draw something. You're going to bring that to your workplace.
Mhm. Mhm.
That is because I have felt it, I've seen it in my mom, the change that she went through, the metamorphosis she went through with art. I said, we need to take this to corporation, and Artsee Wellness was born,
Mhm.
where so we had the top artists from the world. I said, I'm going to take these top artists, take them to corporations. And not just that, I forgot to tell you that every 2 months or 3 months, we have a global creative network meeting
Mhm.
from Artsee, where it's a free meeting, online Zoom. Artists from all over the world can come. So, couple of meetings. There are artists from New York, Brazil, and everywhere, and there are artists from a village in India. I had implored him to come. His name is Madeshwaran, and he's not just an amazing artist, but also a philanthropist. He runs schools, free schools for children. It's
Mhm.
not even like a small town; it's a village off of a small town.
Thank you for having this kind of a platform for people. I think everybody needs it, and I love the way you mentioned how to make your work enjoyable through art is something that I absolutely loved. The way you put it through was wonderful. Um, Padmaja, there are a lot of women in the corporate world. They're also mothers at home. They're playing that role as well. There's also an artist in everyone, like how you said. So they're also trying to do something of their own. So there are these multiple things that we are kind of juggling with at the same time. What would be your message for all the mothers?
Enjoy motherhood. I mean, I'm an empty nester now, so I can say that. It is stressful, especially today, whether I have one child, but whether it's one or two or three, it's very stressful because the kids are under pressure. But the world's changing, and the only thing like I went through it is like I enjoyed every bit of it because it's not about the college your kid goes to. Who knows? College may be irrelevant in a few years with AI. And it's about the little things, about the car rides. And I would insist on picking up my child. And I wanted those conversations. I knew it's just like, if at all, till 12th grade, right? And after that, they're gone. And I'm very proud to say my son raised me well. I completely changed my way of thinking. I love the youngsters, the way they think. I mean, we can learn so much from our children. We get lot more. They get food, shelter, whatever you call it from us, but we get a lot more from our children raising them than they get from us, and we carry that forward. So I just, there's only one thing: enjoy your kids and learn from them, and let them be.
That's
Just let them
wonderful.
be. They come equipped to live. We don't want to ruin the way they've come.
I've interviewed a lot of people and I've heard a lot of mothers talking about, their message for the other mothers of taking care of themselves and, all those things which are really, really important. Um, it goes a long way. But this take is pretty unique, is, learning from your kids. I think if we have that mind shift, if we have that kind of a thought process, we are learning a lot in that process too. And real quick, before we go, Padmaja, I know you've done your PhD in cancer biology. Now, when we hear the word cancer, it is really daunting. Not that everybody has known a lot about it. Since you have learned so much about it, you've researched so much about it. What are your thoughts? How can people kind of bring some kind of a lifestyle changes or something like that, which could really help them in their wellness, like
Yeah,
improving their health? What
yeah.
would you if you have to send out a message, a short message for people, how would you try to put it through, which will be helpful for them?
Um, just my own experience. It's not about reading articles or even, studying to be a PhD. Right now, I do work for a company, and we are developing a drug for triple negative breast cancer, one of the most aggressive cancers, and I'm taking care of their business development. But to me personally, my transformation has been because I decided to be passionate about what I do. So when your mind is passionate about something that is meaningful in life and you're creative, you're constantly learning that does something to your body.
Hmm.
And now they talk about gut brain interaction and brain gut interaction and all those things and cancer, but it's all in the mind. We recently did a wellness workshop for a nonprofit that caters to children with rare diseases. And we did another workshop for an organization that's only for men with gut related, which can be very debilitating in life. So I learned something that day. You can say all you want, eat well, enjoy life, it's all about your brain. But when you have the debilitating disease, when your 5-year-old has that rare form of cancer, none of that helps but drugs. So I want to say two things is one, science is real. Science is very real, and cancer treatment has advanced so much with precision oncology that they can target. What they do is like if somebody has cancer, they test the DNA, and you can precisely target because everybody is different. You're different, I'm different. My hair is different, your hair is different. So two people's cancers are not the same, even if it's the same breast cancer. So science has come such a long way that cancer is a chronic, if at all, a chronic ailment, if it cannot be. There are a few of them that are fatal, that are very terminal, but for the most part, there is science. So do not subjugate science to say, no, just eat ginger every day. Please take care of yourself, get the help you need. But lifestyle, pure, like simple, and the obsession about food. We are all obsessed about food, food, food. You go to the grocery, it's all sugar, sugar, sugar.
Hmm.
Food is just something we eat to live. And I am sorry, I'm not a foodie. I don't want to be a foodie because food too we just eat too much as human beings that we don't need. That is bad for our body. So the less you eat is fine. You're going to survive, guys. You're not going to starve to death. Don't obsess about food and stay away from those processed foods and be creative because the joy of living, no matter we live for 10 years, 20 years, 80 or 90, we got to have a joy of living. To me is more important than life itself. And that comes from doing something you love.
Hmm.
Find that thing, and that thing doesn't have to be a lifetime goal of I'm going to learn to play the oboe underwater for my lifetime. It could be what you do today, the small things. I'm going to create something today. I saw a beautiful leaf today. Let me bring and put it on a piece of paper and make a card for my child. So
Hmm.
become a child, live in the moment. I think the joy, it takes away so much stress. I mean, if you
Uh-huh.
talk to my family, they say she's a goner. All she talks about is artsy.
See, that's
Don't
the
get me.
artist inside of you speaking. So
Oh my
it's
gosh. No,
wonderful.
but
It's
I have found
wonderful.
joy. I want everybody to find joy in what they do.
Hmm.
It could be a corporate job, but find joy in it.
That's true. No,
So
I love it. I love your take, Padmaja. This was wonderful. It was such a insightful conversation. Thank you so much for sharing your journey with us. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us. Thank you for coming.
thank you, Avni. It was an honor.